Assalamu alaikum, I am Hina Ejaz. Welcome to Pakistan. Of course, in this show, we welcome foreigners visiting Pakistan and we ask them what makes their country so special and why do they think Pakistan is so special. And on the other hand, we have a Pakistani who talks about their travel enthusiasm and how they host foreign travelers all across Pakistan. Well, the exciting part about today's show is that my guest is from a country which is obviously full of surprises. And why is that so? We shall find out. And the other guest, of course, who's from Pakistan, how does he host foreign travelers in Pakistan? What's his medium to getting through them and how do they get through him? And how does he show this beautiful land to foreign nationals visiting Pakistan? So without any further delay, I'm going to introduce you to my guests. I'm talking about Hina Shechenska from Poland. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yeah, that's nearly perfect.
Thank you. I already feel a little confident now. So, welcome to Pakistan, Hina.
Thank you so much.
And on the other hand, I have Abuzar Furqan, who's a travel enthusiast. लेकिन अबूज़र की सबसे मज़ेदार बात यह है कि ये एक ऐप के थ्रू फॉरेन नेशनल से कनेक्ट करते हैं और ना सिर्फ उनके मुल्क विज़िट करते हैं बल्कि वो फॉरेन नेशनल जो इनसे कनेक्ट करें इस ऐप के थ्रू वो पाकिस्तान आते हैं। अब ये किस तरह से उन्हें होस्ट करते हैं, तरीका क्या है, व्हाट इज़ दिस ऐप ऑल अबाउट? और इतनी इंटरेस्टिंग चीज़ कि दुनिया कितनी छोटी होगी इस लिहाज से, यानी टेक्नोलॉजी ने चीज़ें कितनी आसान कर दी हैं। Abuzar is going to explain all of this to us in today's episode. Assalamu alaikum, Abuzar. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Hina's story is really special. I call it special because it's a very, very sweet love story, and that's exactly how she came to Pakistan for the first time in the year 2019. Well, what love makes us do, right, Hina? So tell me about your story.
So my story is pretty simple. It's unusual, I suppose, but I am a traveler and I came here mostly to see the country, but the main reason and the priority is the man of my life.
Right, and how did you meet him? Where did you meet him?
So that was on the time when I was traveling in Australia and he was at the time studying there. So that was the first time that we have a chance to meet, and that was 3 years ago, exactly 3 years ago, because it was March 2018. And then, you know,
the first time then you came to Pakistan in 2019.
Yes,
September.
year after we met for the first time.
And this is your second visit.
And this is my second.
Well, do you realize, Hina, your love story involves 3 continents.
Oh yes,
you
that's
are
true.
From Europe. You're from Central Europe.
That could be nice.
You met in Australia. You're going to live in Asia in the near future, is that right?
Yes, exactly. If we had more time and I could tell you all the story, that would be a beautiful story.
Why not? Let's hear some highlights from it.
No, maybe next time.
Right. Well, why not? Let's leave it for the next episode.
Let's leave people, curious a
little
bit.
Curious. Absolutely. Well, you see, Poland is surrounded by a bunch of interesting countries. There's an interesting mix of nations surrounding it.
Yes, definitely.
It's Germany, Slovakia, Lithuania, Ukraine, and of course Russia.
Oh yes, and if you cross the Baltic Sea, there is also Scandinavian countries.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Now the Baltic is a very important component, and that's where most of the sports take place.
Oh yes, that's true.
Like sailing, rowing, and all of these are very important things.
We may be a small country compared to Pakistan, but we have like a lot of things happening there. And you have mountains, you have sea, you can do a lot of activities.
Like if you're looking for adventure sports,
oh yes,
I think hiking is a very big component.
Oh yes, you know how many hikers are coming here from Pakistani mountains. They are from Poland. So we are a small nation, but we are kind of creating a history of the climbing and mountaineering here.
Right. So your lakes are very popular too, I hear.
Oh yeah, they are.
And it's the sailing season starts somewhere around May.
Yes, in the summertime, yeah.
So
when
the
spring is coming.
And people get very excited and all get up for it, right?
Oh yeah, they do.
After all the snow and everything that they go through in winters, that's what they're looking forward to.
Yeah, so in the winter time we are more focused on the winter sports, like skiing, ski jumping is very popular in Poland now. It's not that many people does it, but we are quite successful.
Right. So Warsaw, your capital, is quite huge for tourists.
Yes, it is.
And the museum there, I mean, it's very exciting, portrays a lot of history.
Yes, they cover different parts of the history and they cover different subjects. So you may have like a bunch of the museums and they are focused on the different subjects. So it can be, like religious museum. It can be just related to the Second World War. So they are all like
all the invaders who came there. Even that, right?
Yes,
that part of the history.
Right.
Well, आप लोगों ने बहुत सुना अभी आना के जरिए कि पोलैंड किस तरह का मुल्क है, कितनी हिस्ट्री है उधर क्या क्या खरीदना चाहिए, क्या क्या नहीं, ये तो मैं आना से बात करूंगी. बट बिफोर दैट हमने खास रिपोर्ट तैयार की है पोलैंड पे. लेट्स टेक अ लुक एट इट. इतने मुख्तलिफ पहलू आपने देखे पोलैंड के. वेल आना, these were different cities, the sea, the lakes, everything about Poland. Well, I hear there's a lot of good wildlife in the countryside. If you want to explore that, if you want to see that, one has to go to Poland's countryside.
Oh yes. Yes, as I said before, I'm so proud of being from there because you can find everything what you like. Everyone can find something for himself. It depends on your interest. If you like cycling, you will find
things to do, as they say.
Yes, exactly.
When you visit a place. So the national parks are also very exciting, I hear.
Oh yes, and they are kind of like big part of Poland. They cover like a lot of space. So and it's very common. Like we like to go and walk full days, having picnics somewhere, and then keep traveling and trade. Like they are well prepared for the tourism. Like they have a lot of detailed and well organized paths.
So you're a very, very active nation, energized.
Yes, we do. We like outdoor. Definitely.
So talking about your neighboring countries like Russia, like Slovakia, like Ukraine, what kind of influences have you seen being adapted or being gelled into your society from these neighboring nations?
Society, depends which part of Poland you are traveling to. Like if you are in the south part, then probably you will share more with the Slovakia and Czech Republic because we both love mountaineering, and it's we share actually the mountaineer like ranges there. So both these nations they are more or less the same, and they share activities.
So it's a more mountainous experience.
Yes, exactly. If you are in the north, it will be closer to the sea. Like there is this all coastline.
It's the beach life.
Yes, exactly. So it's definitely beach life. And Germany, they are people who loves to come to Poland and spend some time on the seaside. Right. Then if you go to the east side, then you have Belarus and Latvia, Ukraine. So these people are maybe less active. They go more for the wild, like
right. But the good thing, I was reading some news about the latest news flash about Poland. It said that during this pandemic, Poland was not so much as other European nations hit by the pandemic, and it's recovering faster than the rest. That's very good news, and a lot of different European firms are taking interest in how it's recovering from the pandemic. The economy is recovering from the pandemic. So that's absolutely great news for you. But tell me the good news, like I mentioned earlier, I am totally in awe of the story that I hear about you. What made you come to Pakistan? What brought you to Pakistan? So, what was your impression before coming to Pakistan and after arriving in Pakistan? Did it change? I mean, what was it and did it change to something else?
Well, definitely yes. So the expectations or the image I had of Pakistan before coming here for the first time was far from this what I have met here later and what is today. And it's in a favor to you. I must say that we are coming here having some kind of, like picture, but from the very first moment when we are visiting Pakistan, it's like every step you take, it's a surprise, and it's a very positive surprise. So you are, like just getting more and more and more amazed. It's a wonderful country, and I wish people, you have to experience this to understand. So like I wish people who are far from here, foreigners to Pakistan, I wish they could come and they could make this, experience themselves, so they could compare the imagination before with what's the reality here. So in short, it's like far beyond the expectations.
Well, I tell you, each time I interview a foreign tourist or an expat living in Pakistan or a diplomat in Pakistan, and when I hear these comments, I tell you, it makes me feel so good and proud as a Pakistani, because seeing is believing. You got to experience Pakistan to believe how wonderful this place is. It's a hidden gem, and Anna's explored it. Many other foreigners have explored it and discovered that what a big hidden jewel Pakistan is on the world map. So like I said, come and see it and then you'll believe it. Well, I wouldn't keep our other guests waiting, Abuzar Furqan, but before that, हमें एक छोटी सी ब्रेक की तरफ जाना होगा, और जैसे हम वापस आएंगे अबूजर फुरकान से पूछेंगे कि ये किस तरह इन तमाम फॉरेन नेशनल से, टूरिस्ट से मिलते हैं और इनके ममालिक भी किस तरह जाते हैं, ये क्या सिचुएशन है. सो लेट्स टॉक अबाउट दिस राइट आफ्टर दिस शॉर्ट ब्रेक. Welcome back to Welcome to Pakistan, and we have Anna with us, we have Abuzar with us. You just heard Anna पोलैंड से आई हैं, एक बहुत ही खूबसूरत मुल्क से, लेकिन पाकिस्तान से भी उनको प्यार हो गया है. मेरे साथ अबूजर फुरकान मौजूद हैं, पाकिस्तानी हैं, ट्रैवल एंथुजियास्ट हैं, और मुझे बहुत मज़ा आता है ट्रैवल एंथुजियास्ट से बात करके, क्योंकि यही हमारे लिए एम्बेसडर्स ऑफ पाकिस्तान है, क्योंकि यही हमारे मुल्क में आने वाले फॉरेन नेशनल्स को दिखाते हैं पाकिस्तान का सही रूप. वेल अबूजर, आप एक ऐप यूज़ करना शुरू हुए और उसी ऐप के ज़रिए तकरीबन 200 फॉरेन टूरिस्ट को होस्ट कर चुके हैं पाकिस्तान में. हाउ वंडरफुल इज़ दैट? क्या है ये ऐप?
एक्चुअली मैंने 2008 में ट्रैवलिंग स्टार्ट की, तो लाइक माइंडेड लोग मिलना शुरू हो गए. तो एक मेरे दोस्त ने एक ऐप का बताया जिसका नाम काउच सर्फिंग है. इस ऐप की मदद से आप डिफरेंट कंट्रीज़ में जाके उनके पास रह सकते हैं, और इसी तरह डिफरेंट कंट्रीज़ के लोग यहाँ पे आते हैं और आप उनको होस्ट कर सकते हैं. इसमें होता ये है कि जो आपके पास गेस्ट आ रहा है, आपके मुल्क में गेस्ट आ रहा है, और ऐप वो भी ऐप यूज़ कर रहा है, वो एक ट्रिप क्रिएट कर देता है एप्लीकेशन पे. पब्लिक भी हो सकता है, वो पर्सनल रिक्वेस्ट भी हो सकती है. तो अब जब वो आपको रिक्वेस्ट भेजते हैं, पर्सनल रिक्वेस्ट, तो आप उसको एक्सेप्ट कर लेते हैं, और उसके फ़ौरन बाद वो कंफर्म कर देते हैं. इसी तरह वो आपके पास आ जाते हैं. इस ऐप में फिर आप बेसिकली, इसका मकसद जैसे इसका नेम है काउच सर्फिंग, इट्स अबाउट ओनली काउच. तो
यानी कि सिर्फ अकोमोडेशन प्रोवाइड कर,
सिर्फ अकोमोडेशन. लेकिन पाकिस्तान जो है ज़रा इस चीज़ में जो गेस्ट आता है उसको फुल टाइम एंड टू एंड सोल्यूशन दे देता है. लाइक हम फूड भी प्रोवाइड, क्योंकि हॉस्पिटेबल नेशन है, हम फेमस है इस मामले में, तो हम फूड भी प्रोवाइड.
दिल भी तो बड़ा इतना होता है पाकिस्तानियों का,
तो हम उनको बाहर खुद घुमा भी देते हैं, उनको टाइम भी प्रॉपर देते हैं. अगर इसीलिए इस चीज़ में इस वजह से हमारी काफ़ी हॉस्पिटैलिटी काफ़ी मशहूर हो रही है.
बिल्कुल, और है, बिल्कुल है, क्यों नहीं. और आप इनको किन मज़ीद और इलाकों में लेके गए हैं पाकिस्तान?
पहले तो अगर लाइक मैं लाहौर में जैसे होस्ट कर रहा हूँ, तो मैं अगर टाइम हो तो दूसरे सिटीज़ में चला जाता हूँ, वो तो कम ही होता है. लेकिन लाहौर में, अंदरून लाहौर वगैरह की जो
लाहौर में इतना कुछ है दिखाने के लिए, बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हैं. लेकिन खाने पीने का क्या होता है? क्योंकि देखें थोड़ा हमारा स्पाइस लेवल ज़्यादा होता है, तो उस लिहाज से आप उन्हें किस तरह गाइड करते हैं? मुश्किलात आती है सामने जब खाने पीने की बात है?
ये वेरी करता है. जो कुछ ट्रैवलर होते हैं वो खुद एडवेंचरस टाइप ऑफ उनका माइंड होता है, तो वो खुद कहते हैं हम स्पाइसी खाएंगे, क्योंकि बेशक उनका वो उधर वहाँ पे स्पाइसी नहीं होता जहाँ से वो आए होते हैं, लेकिन वो
बट दे वांट टू ट्राई
हाँ
स्पाइसी
जी, वो
फूड।
ट्राई करना चाहते हैं क्योंकि उनको एक ट्रैवलिंग के साथ फूड भी एक पैशन है लोगों
Absolutely.
का। तो ये दोनों कोरिलेटेड चीज़ें हैं। तो उनको जिस भी रेस्टोरेंट में जाते हैं यहाँ तो रिक्वेस्ट कर देते हैं इसको ज़रा माइल्ड बना दें या कम स्पाइसी बना दें। तो डिफरेंट फूड फेमस जगह हैं जो लाहौर की फूड स्ट्रीट वगैरह होगी, कुछ निहारी फेमस है, वारिस निहारी, इस तरह की लस्सी कुछ फेमस है, और कुछ रेस्टोरेंट्स फेमस है जैसे ओल्ड लाहौर में हवेली वगैरह है, तो लोग वहाँ पे जाना ज़्यादा पसंद करते हैं।
Right. So do you understand the terminology Abuzar's used, like nihari? Nihari is a very special food item, you know, in our cuisine.
Probably I have tried this. Yes.
You have?
Probably yes. I'm very like adventurous in terms
Right,
of
it's
food.
very meaty.
Oh, that's like most
Like,
of the
you know,
Pakistani cuisine.
no, again, from what I've heard, that Polish food, you know, comprises of a lot of meaty content. Is that right?
Yeah, that's
and it's
right.
very rich
Yes.
in taste and flavor.
Yes, that's right.
So I hear about the dumplings. I hear about, you know, even the pancakes.
Oh yes.
So they're very rich in content.
Yeah, we do like traditionally we do like whatever can be done in our kitchen. It should contain meat. Like, you know,
It should contain.
It should
meat.
contain meat. Like in traditional
So,
Polish
have you
cuisine,
tried
yes.
Pakistani cuisine?
Oh yes, every
And
day.
it's got a lot of meat in it.
Oh yes. No,
So
I
which
would say
one was
only
your
meat
favorite?
sometimes.
Which one did you like the most?
Takatak.
Takatak.
Yes.
Right, takatak खाते हैं foreigners ज़्यादा.
हाँ, बहुत पसंद करते हैं टका।
I'm asking him if, you know, a lot of people who visit Pakistan
If they say
through
this-
him, do they like takatak? Yes, please.
करते हैं, बिरयानी बहुत पसंद करते हैं,
बिरयानी?
हाँ जी, बिरयानी
लेकिन
बहुत
बहुत
पसंद
स्पाइसी होती है।
लेकिन वो पसंद करते हैं कि यूनिक चीज़, क्योंकि स्पेशलिटी है पाकिस्तान की।
वो तो है।
तो वो ऑब्वियसली उनके माइंड में जब कोई भी बंदा ट्रैवल करता है उसके माइंड में फूड, प्लेसेस और फूड ही दो ही चीज़ें होती हैं।
बिल्कुल,
तो वो
बिल्कुल।
फेमस फूड तो हमारा बिरयानी है, तो लाजमी वो आके और पसंद भी करते हैं। वो इस चीज़ को नहीं देखते कि ये उनका टेस्ट है कि नहीं है, लेकिन वो देखते हैं कि नई चीज़ है और एक उनके टू डू लिस्ट में होती है और उसको प्रेफर करते हैं कि इसी को खाएँ।
Now, real Polish food is like a calorie bomb, like calories bomb.
True. Like a lot of
So,
oil and
well,
meat.
so is Pakistani food.
I feel more oily here and more.
It's more
calories.
oily.
Yes.
Well, it's a bigger bomb.
Yeah. But you need this, you know, energy here. So.
Yes. Well, especially as a traveler.
Yeah.
So, have you been to the up north areas of Pakistan?
Yes, that was the first visit here. So I actually came from China, crossing the border in Soest.
That's very. I mean, that's a lot of adventure.
That was my dream for several years, like few years. For the first time, I heard in Pakistan in 2016, and that was already my dream. I wanted to go from China to Pakistan and pass this ancient Silk Road, you know, Karakoram Highway. Ideally on a motorbike. I didn't manage it yet.
And I'm sure you'll do that.
That's on my list.
The kind of energy that
Yes,
you have,
yes,
you will
yes,
do
I'm
that.
just
And I wish you
looking
all the best.
forward.
And I think you should do that. Explore Pakistan that way.
Hopefully, inshallah.
That's the best way to explore a country. Well, Abuzar, you've heard that आना किन किन जगहों पे गई हैं पाकिस्तान में। आप इन्हें क्या रेकमेंड करेंगे, मजीद कौन सी जगह देखें?
एक बड़ी ज़बरदस्त जगह है, मुझे आइडिया नहीं है वहाँ पे जा सकती हैं कि नहीं जा सकती। रत्ती गली लेक, उसका सीज़न भी आने वाला।
नहीं, हर जगह जा सकती हैं, बहुत एक्टिव है ये।
तो रत्ती गली लेक बहुत ज़बरदस्त जगह है, मेरी वो फेवरेट जगह है। उसके बाद कालाम है, कालाम बहुत ज़बरदस्त है।
Have you been to Kalam? No. So he's making this bucket list for you.
Okay.
For places to visit in
share
Pakistan.
this with me later.
कालाम में एक वो उशू फॉरेस्ट है, वो बहुत ज़बरदस्त जगह है। और उसके बाद अगर आप कुमराट वैली की तो बात ही क्या है। कुमराट अभी तो मेरे ख्याल में सर्दी बहुत ज़्यादा होगी वहाँ पे, लेकिन कुमराट भी एक टॉप नॉच प्लेस है जो टॉप 3 में मैं रेट करता हूँ उसको।
Right.
तो वो भी अगर आप इनको हाइकिंग पसंद है, कुमराट से ऊपर जहाज़ बांडा जाएं, वो थल से ऊपर जहाज़ बांडा हाइकिंग बहुत ज़बरदस्त मज़ा आता है, एडवेंचरस हाइकिंग है। जहाज़ बांडा से ऊपर एक लेक है, कटोरा लेक, वो भी बहुत ज़बरदस्त है, उसकी भी हाइकिंग बहुत मज़े की है। और एक फ़ील आती है कि हाइक कर रहे हैं। अगर आप K2 या माउंट एवरेस्ट नहीं जा सकते, एटलीस्ट वो
इतना तो कर सकते हैं अगर आपको शौक है। वेल, आपके पास जो फॉरेनर्स आते हैं, रहते हैं इस ऐप के ज़रिए, ज़्यादातर किन ममालिक से होते हैं?
ज़्यादातर यूरोप से होते हैं। स्पेन के बहुत ज़्यादा लोग आते हैं और US के बहुत ज़्यादा आना शुरू हो गए। इंटरेस्टिंगली ये मेरे लिए भी सरप्राइजिंग था कि पिछले 1 साल से US के लोग बहुत ज़्यादा आए हैं। मैंने यूरोप के अगर इस साल से कंपैरिजन करें प्रीवियस 2019 से कंपेयर करें 2020 को, तो 2020 में US के जो सिटीजन ज़्यादा आए हैं यहाँ पे मेरे पास।
अच्छा।
तो पहले आते थे यूरोप के ज़्यादा।
अच्छा।
तो इसकी रीज़न ये भी हो सकती है पेंडेमिक में जो यूरोप की कुछ कंट्रीज ट्रैवल बैन है, तो हो सकता है वो। और
हमारे यहाँ जिस तरह से पेंडेमिक को कंट्रोल किया गया है, आई थिंक ये बहुत बड़ी बात है
जी।
जितनी बड़ी हमारी पॉपुलेशन है, हम इससे जिस तरह निकले हैं, इसका मुकाबला किया है, बहुत बड़ी बात है।
और वो हैरान होते हैं यहाँ पे आके कि लोग नॉर्मल हैं, किसी को कोई ये भी नहीं कि एहतियात नहीं कर रहे।
I mean the numbers aren't as high as other countries in the world. So what about the situation of the pandemic? I mean, has it been difficult for you to move about in the country here in Pakistan?
How did it affect my travel?
Yes.
So luckily for me, Pakistan's restrictions were not allow me to come here as soon as I could after what I was doing in my country. The only what I had to do is just I needed a certificate of a negative test.
Absolutely,
test.
That's mandatory.
And the situation was changing actually day by day, so I had to follow updates to see what the airlines are request or the countries. So just in short, it was manageable and it was not difficult to come here comparatively to other countries.
Right. Well, Poland has mountains, it has lakes, it has the sea, it has metropolitan cities, it has large cities, and it has a lot of energy, and so do we. Well, we also have mountains, we have lakes, we have deserts. So we're going to pick up some images, some from Poland, some from Pakistan, which are comparable in terms of the pictures. So let's go and see it. Well, Anna, you can once you see those pictures, those images, you can comment which are those places. और अबूज़र, आप भी बता सकते हैं कि पाकिस्तान की वो कौन सी जगह है.
There's a competition.
Well, let's put, yeah, if you want to make it one, why not? Please, let's take a look at it. बताइए पाकिस्तान की कौन सी जगह. Anna, what's that in Poland? Do you recognize the place?
Tatra Mountains.
Oh
Tatra
wow.
Mountains.
So you can't tell which one's Pakistan, which one's Poland if we take off the name tags, right?
Yes.
पूरी ट्रैक लग रहा है वो पहले जो था प्रीवियस.
और ये वाला?
ये
I think Anna's going to win the competition. Well, that's a forest, and I tell you.
ये ट्रेल है इस्लामाबाद की, I think.
Right.
And on the left, it can be any forest in Poland.
Right, the countryside, the beautiful countryside of Poland.
But it's all south of Poland.
ये सवात है.
Oh yes, Anna, you must go to Savat also.
Savato?
Savat, S-W-A-T.
All right.
कल हम सवात में ही हैं.
Bilkul. You have to go there and you will actually have a good time. It's so beautiful. It is so beautiful. And अभी I think अबूज़र उधर अच्छी खासी मज़ीद और डेवलपमेंट भी हो चुकी है.
हाँ जी, काफ़ी रोड
काफ़ी चीज़ें बन गई.
बड़ा ज़बरदस्त
I
रोड
mean,
बन चुका है.
your whole route is going to be nice and scenic. And the infrastructure, it's been developed quite a bit over there now. So that makes your journey easier.
Right.
So what's your impression of Lahore when you came to Lahore for the first time? I mean, in terms of the culture.
The shocking thing, something what really struck me was the amount of people and energy. It's a very vibrant city. It's all the time, so wherever you look, there are so many things happening. That your eyes are not resting. It's like you have people running, different flavors around, music. Depends, of course, on the part when you are in, but that was
There's
something.
activity.
Yes,
there's a vibe.
It's always something happening, and it's a lot of energy coming from each direction, actually.
So there's an old city, Lahore. Old city, Lahore. Did you get a chance to visit that?
Is it Analkari?
You did?
Oh yeah, I did a few times.
And did you see the Badshai Mosque, the walled city?
This part
the food street, the
food
famous
street, yes. I had a
street.
beautiful breakfast
So
there.
the huge mosque there,
yes.
Badshai Mosque, that's the one I'm referring
yes,
to.
I have seen this just from the distance because that's the time.
Yes.
I know that I still have some time to hear, so I'm going to plan it. Have a nice walk around, but that's still on my list. But there are a few small places that I've done in this area. There is a beautiful book market on Sundays.
It's really nice.
So that's what I was looking forward, and
it's
I went.
It's a hidden treasure.
And I purchased already a few books.
That's lovely.
And that was
so when you go back to Poland now, this time, would you recommend your friends to come and visit Pakistan?
Oh, they are already coming.
They are?
I have done for them the presentation after my first visit here.
That is amazing news.
Now I'm exactly in the process of preparing the trip for them.
Lovely. And I would love to meet your friends and have them on the show. And I'd like to hear their points of you as well. Well, Anna, wish you all the best and all the best for your future, and may this be a happily ever after for you. Well, Abuzar, आपका बहुत शुक्रिया और उम्मीद करती हूँ कि मज़ीद इसी तरह आप टूरिस्ट को होस्ट करते रहेंगे, क्योंकि आप लोगों के ही ज़रिए पाकिस्तान का एक अच्छा इमेज, अच्छी साइड, जो एक्चुअल साइड ऑफ पाकिस्तान है, वो देख पाएंगे। मैं आपसे इजाज़त लूँगी, अगले हफ्ते दोबारा मुलाकात होगी। आप देखते रहिएगा डिस्कवर पाकिस्तान।